Hello.
Yo,
What
what's up?
is going on?
We got some questions.
We do have some questions. Are you ready to dive in?
Let's get into them.
Can I ask, are you in a better mood this week?
Yeah, of course. Are you?
I'm in a great mood.
Not salty today?
No, I'm feeling sugary today.
Good.
1 sugar, exactly.
Okay, let's get to it.
Let's start. No one likes banter. Tariq writes in, what is the worst food or dish you've eaten? Now, I wonder, is this something you just dislike or something that has caused you sickness?
Oh,
Because I have had food poisoning.
So have I.
I've got it twice, actually, from the same. When I was a kid at the Center Point Mall, I got food poisoning from the KFC in the food court there, and I made the mistake of going a second time. Fool me once. Shame on you.
Yeah. It's funny though, because often the food that actually gets you food poisoning, it tastes really good. So it's not necessarily I've had food poisoning, but it wasn't the worst dish I've ever had. In fact, it was probably really good going down. I mean, the worst tasting dish I've had, I don't, when you're Chinese, you probably try a lot of weird foods. I mean, I don't know. I don't keep it in my memory. What's the worst tasting food you've ever had?
The worst tasting food. I mean, beets?
Yeah.
My mom used to make those when I was a kid. I detested these things. They were the grossest in the world. And just something about them that I did not like. I'm also not, around Thanksgiving, love turkey. I love stuffing. I love, certain things. But it's all the side stuff, like turnips and squash. Not a fan. I squashed that right out of my Thanksgiving diet.
That's not that bad for a worst dish.
Yeah,
actually.
That's not too bad.
What
has caused you to get food poisoning? Or have you got food poisoning?
Yeah, probably like uncleanliness.
No, but what did you eat is my question.
Oh, it's probably some Asian food.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just gonna paintbrush the entire culinary.
No, it was probably some Chinese restaurant I went to.
I was actually in the Dominican Republic one summer, and I went to. They just have buffets there. My God, I've never been more sick in my life for a 24-hour period. It was just awful.
Yeah. I think often it has to do with the water too.
Water is
that they use to cook.
Yep.
Like anytime I go, I'm really painting a bad picture for Chinese food here, but
yeah, their tourism industry is going to take a massive hit from ASK-A-WAI episode 3.
Anytime I go to Shanghai.
I love Shanghai, by the way. I will eat there whenever. Shanghai noodles, anything.
Okay.
I just want them to know that there's someone
good.
here.
Thank you.
That has an open mind.
Anytime I go to Shanghai to visit family, I will always get sick. For like the first 5 days, I'll definitely be sick, and I think that largely comes down to the water that they use.
It's also your body adjusting to just different.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, everybody who actually lives there doesn't get sick, and I think their bodies just, they're used to the whatever bacteria that's actually there.
We're chameleons.
Yeah, and that bacteria I don't think is necessarily bad for you. It's just that it's not common in our North American system.
When I went to Russia, it was the same thing. It took like days to get used to just everything there. And it was just, whether it's sleep, whether it's food, massive adjustment. All right, we've exhausted. I'm full on this topic.
Yeah.
Good, I get a timeout here. What are the earliest comic book or books you remember reading, receiving, purchasing that was the catalyst for your interest into comic books?
The catalyst that was the interest the catalyst that was my interest into comic books was actually the TV shows, not necessarily comic books. I mean, I think a lot of people, like these days, will probably get into comic books via the movies, but back then, when I was a kid, it was like the X-Men cartoon, the Spider-Man cartoon, and things like that actually got me interested in comic books. But the first comic books that I went to the store to actually purchase were the DC versus Marvel series that came out in the mid '90s. In hindsight, everybody kind of started pan these things, and I'd never go back to reread those. But it was a lot of fun. Imagine WCW versus WWF, but actually, you know, on equal footing and with equal writing. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I really loved a lot of those comics as a kid.
Scott McCullough has the next question, a longtime listener, supporter. Hey guys, what TV show are you most ashamed of loving?
Oh.
You know what one of my favorites is I'm not even ashamed. Once you get to our old age, you just don't care what others think about your likes and dislikes.
I've been doing Total Divas reviews, and I don't know if there's something that I should be more ashamed of watching than
I'm
that.
ashamed you love it.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You know,
Raw, WWE Raw. That's what I'm most ashamed of.
That's the last show I will ever bring up to friends and say, hey, you know what happened last week on Raw?
Yeah.
Never.
No,
that is
don't.
never a topic that exists
Not
in
talk
my life off of a microphone. The show that I enjoy the most, because I swear to God it's on 24 hours a day in syndication, is Modern Family. And I feel every time I turn it on, it's an episode I haven't seen. I love this show.
You do? Okay, I've never heard you talk about it.
I've never have a reason to talk about
You've
Modern
never
Family.
referenced it or anything like that.
There's so often I'll just turn the TV on. Modern Family's on. I just enjoy watching Modern Family. I also very much enjoy, though I don't watch it as much anymore, is that show Property Virgins. That's hosted by this Toronto-based real estate agent, Sandra Riamato.
I actually like that show a lot too.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I
I
that
love
show.
it. Are they going to get the house? Is a competitive offer going to come in?
Have you seen By Herself, B-U-I?
I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
It's about single women, I suppose.
Yes, I have seen an episode of it, but I don't watch it
Who
regularly.
are in the market to buy their first home or their first condo. And I love that show too. I mean,
It's gotten to the
I'm not
point
ashamed
that
of
I've said to my wife, if we ever move, I mean,
You're gonna hire Sandra?
well, the thing is, my wife, she bought this place before we had met.
Yeah.
So I am still technically
Oh,
eligible to be on this show.
Are you sure? Oh, you are, but okay. Are you sure though?
No, I'm not sure.
You're not really a property virgin. I guess you're not legally owner of this place.
No.
Okay.
So it could work out.
Yeah. Great.
We'll find out.
I
Maybe,
hope so.
Maybe I can get on the show.
I'd love to see you on that show.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ferus from Malaysia. Hey guys, what are your top 2 movies of 2015?
Okay.
I would put Creed up there.
Oh man, I would put Star Wars up there. Mad Max is really good.
I never saw Mad Max.
Yeah.
I would put The Big Short in that
haven't seen that
discussion.
one.
I think Spotlight came out before the end of the year, so that would qualify. Those would be all top movies that come to mind for me. I didn't see a whole lot of movies in 2015.
I didn't see many of the Grammy-nominated movies, or sorry, the Oscar-nominated movies. I haven't seen many of the Slammy-nominated movies either. But I saw Steve Jobs. I thought it was all right. You know, it was okay.
The Steve Jobs movie was pretty damn good. I thought his performance was very good.
It was fine.
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent in that movie.
He's always excellent.
I like just the structure of it. I mean, you're doing a biopic on Steve Jobs. It could be there's so many ways you could go. I liked how they just took 3 different product launches and built it around that and was all attached with this awful, weird relationship with his daughter that he tried to mend by the end of it. It was very nice. I thought Michael Fassbender was excellent. And Kate Winslet was very good in that movie,
Do you
too.
think it's deserving of best Oscar or best movie?
Best movie? I think nominated, but not... Because you can nominate, 10 movies? We do have the Oscars coming up this weekend, actually. Or next weekend. I feel that it would be a good nominated movie, but not the best movie of the year.
Okay. Do you have a choice for that?
Best
Well, I
movie.
guess that
The
was
best
the
movie I saw
question.
last year, I would say, would be The Big Short. I think that would be the best movie. Was that nominated? Do you even know? I don't really follow the
no.
Academy.
I don't.
I know that Chris Rock is hosting, and I know a lot of people are upset about the lack of diverse nominees. That's a big topic going into the Oscars this year. Oh, what an interesting name. Grassman from Etobicoke. Hello, Mr. Ting. When are you going to compete for another bronze medal? Also, one more question. I heard your dad is into watching wrestling. What are his thoughts on WrestleMania and any fantasy booking ideas?
My dad hasn't actually watched, to my knowledge, any wrestling since I moved out of the house maybe like 2 years, a year and a half ago. So I don't think he's watching any wrestling, and I doubt he is even aware of WrestleMania coming up, much less any fantasy booking ideas. I think he really likes it when it's a big guy versus a really small guy. I think that's what he would book. He'd book all big guy versus small guy matches, and he would just laugh. His favorite is when
The Divas wrestle.
no, yeah, he likes that. But he also likes the spot when somebody's holding their opponent, and then the tag team partner comes and
Winds
attacks,
up.
and the guy ducks and hits the partner. Gets him every time. Like, he doesn't see it coming every single time.
And then there's the odd time that the guy hits it when he's holding him, just to throw people off.
Then he doesn't react.
It's such
at
a
all.
letdown then, because
He doesn't,
man,
because he's not expecting the spot, so he doesn't react at all. To him, that's just normal.
I think he'd really get into that Bryan Danielson belly to back superplex off the top. All those times that he would try it, and the guy would reverse it in midair.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days.
As for the jiu-jitsu bronze medal, I actually haven't competed at all since I've upgraded to blue belt. Blue belt is just such a wide-ranging division, and I've been. They say there's this thing called the blue belt blues, or the deep blue sea, when a lot of people, once they get from white belt to blue belt, they kind of plateau, and either they kind of lose motivation or they've stopped. And I think that's kind of affected me a little. So my training was definitely a lot more motivated and a lot more consistent when I was a white belt. Now that I'm a blue belt, it's kind of like tapered off, but I'm actually trying to get back into it again. Maybe towards the latter stages of my blue belt phase, I might enter a competition.
All right, well, do keep us tuned.
How about you?
I don't care so much about George St. Pierre returning, but you, my
make
sources
my
have told me
announcements.
that you've been dusting off the gi, and
Yes.
you are rapidly
Sources
looking
being
at a return.
me.
I can't reveal sources.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap things up.
Okay.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Before we end, I want your picks for the big fights of the weekend.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock versus Hoist Gracie. This is potentially 3 rounds. And Hoist Gracie apparently does have the option to use the gi, but apparently will not be wearing the gi on Friday.
It almost feels like a match of who will lose first. I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Yes, there are fights where you ask, who won the fight? This one, it's like, well, who lost the fight?
Yeah, who's
and
gonna
that's going to be the
lose?
case here. I think Ken Shamrock has about 2 minutes and 30 seconds before he will be utterly gassed. I think Hoist Gracie has certainly kept himself in better condition over the years, but I feel
How do we know this, though?
Hoist,
Yeah.
because of the sheer miles on the two individuals, and the fact that Hoist has not fought since 2007. Ken, I feel, has the ability to land, I would say, a number of shots on Hoist before he tires, and I question if Hoist can take a shot at this age.
I gotta pick Hoist. I'm picturing a submission win. I mean, if Ken tapped to, who was the dude Ken tapped to recently? What was
Well, he
Ken-
was stopped by Kimbo
Yeah.
in his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, Kimbo Slice beat Ken Shamrock. I mean, I don't know. I feel like.
But again, that was as much Ken lost that fight,
Yeah.
more so than Kimbo won that fight.
I'm going with Hoist, and I'm gonna go with Kimbo against Dada 5000.
Wow, that to me is that's going to be something to watch. Kimbo and Dada. I'm going Kimbo and Ken on Friday. Are you going to be watching it?
I will.
This one has your
Maybe
interest.
not live, but I will watch it.
Okay. That's going to wrap it up. You can always go to this very YouTube channel, youtube.com/live audio wrestling, and subscribe now.
Right here.
Right there. You're not going to screw me around. And look at all the shows we've got going on this week, man.
Oh my God, I didn't
We've
notice.
got The Law on Sunday at 11 Eastern with a Fast Lane post show immediately
Law, yeah.
afterwards. Yes, we've also got What's Next has a show this week to talk about the Samoa Joe
Hey,
Sami
Dave.
Zayn
Hey, what's up?
finish from the recent Orlando tapings. And we've also got Review-a-wai from this week, a Bryan Danielson career retrospective with matches that we have reviewed from his whole career, including matches with Hiroshi Tanahashi, John Cena, Tommy End, AJ Styles for IWA Mid-South, Takeshi Morishima, and John Moxley. So you can catch all of that. And then Wai and I will be back with a brand new show on Monday night with Review-a-Raw at liveaudiowrestling.com and Fight Network. And Wai, take us out.
Goodbye.